Hi, I want to share with you a very simple but amazing exercise that you can do when you feel tired or when you feel like things just aren't really as easy as they should be. We've all experienced those times when it feels like you're kind of dragging along in your day, and this is an amazing exercise to do. My name is Prune and I'm an energy expert. I was born with the ability to see energy, and I'm able to look at the human energy field and see the patterns in it, because every single one of us have very similar energetic patterns when our energy systems are in balance. And you need your energy systems to be in balance if you're going to be in balance, if you're going to be healthy, if you're going to be able to access your vitality and your radiance. Then you need these energy patterns to be moving in their healthy ways. Now, looking at any human, in fact most animals as well, what I see is that the energy of the body needs to cross over. Now, we know this scientifically as well, that the left brain governs the right side of the body and vice versa. There's a fundamental crossover pattern through every single part of your energy system. And of course, we also see it at the DNA level with that double helix. So it's a fundamental pattern in your system. And when you get tired, that fundamental crossover begins to separate. In a way, it's brilliant. It's an ingenious design in your energy system so that rather than just keep ploughing through your day, your body gives you indications that actually you're beginning to get tired. So rather than everything crossing over, it begins to separate. You can still function, but maybe you feel tired. Maybe you get a bit clumsy. We've all experienced those times when, you walk into the door frame or you trip over something on the floor that's been there for months. That's because your system isn't holding those patterns of cohesion anymore. So what would be normal would be that you wake up, your system's holding this beautiful crossover. You go through the day, it's for the most part still in that crossover. And then as you get tired, maybe 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, it begins to come into what we would call homolateral, so same-sided patterns. And for a while, it kind of moves between homolateral and being crossed over, so that you get that understanding that your body is moving towards time for sleep. Then, during your sleep, wow, the system comes into its repair, everything crosses over again, and you wake up feeling revitalized. But sometimes, if you've been running on a lot of stress, if you've been running with a lot of tiredness in your system for a sustained amount of time, then what often I see is that this homolateral pattern has become stuck. It's become more of a habit in your system rather than that healthy pattern. So I want to show you some ways that you can actually work to really bring that back in. First of all, as a general maintenance through your day, it's great to bring any kind of crossover that you can. You might just sweep from one shoulder to the other hip. You might do figure eights on the body, and maybe with one hand if it's difficult for you to do two. So all of these increase the crossovers in your body. That's brilliant. You might just cross over the face or bring some figure eights around the eyes. Great way for integration of information. You might do figure eights or crossovers over the throat. Another powerful way to really bring that central crossover back into being. If you feel, however, that system is really running on tiredness, then what we need to do is meet that pattern. If I try and just simply do a load of crossovers or maybe do a cross crawl when I'm feeling like my system has gone homolateral, then actually at that point, really the energy system can't shift back into crossover. What we need to do is meet it exactly where it is. So it would look like this. You're going to take your left hand and put it on your right knee and your right hand on your left knee. And you're simply going to do that for a few times. So when you do this, you're working with exactly what your body is already doing. Then you can cross it over. And it's unlikely right now that your body pattern will actually be able to pick up this crossover particularly well. You're doing it physically, and that will begin to introduce it to your energy system, but it might not yet pick it up. So we go back to one-sided again. We meet that pattern. Let's cross back. And you're going to find your flow in this. The only thing I would say is don't do it like a military parade or like a keep fit exercise. Find your rhythm with it. Maybe you can bring some crossovers with your hand as well. One last time, we're going to go back to that same sided. And we're going to finish by bringing that crossover in again. Let's do this one for a little bit longer. You could switch it up a little bit and bring the cross up to your upper body as well. Fabulous, and really great to finish by crossing over your chest, crossing over your tummy, whatever feels good to you. Feels good in my system as it's really crossing over. Thanks for joining me. You can find more information at pruneharris.com. Bye-bye.